Hi, my name is Hayden, and this is my 2003 Ford E-350 Campervan. This thing is fully custom built, so there are a couple little quirks that I'll explain. This thing has been my home on wheels for the last year and a half. It currently has around 180,000 miles. It definitely shows a little wear and tear, but everything runs perfect. It comes complete with a pressurized outdoor shower. I'm including an electric compressor that you can run off of the solar converter. As you can see, it has natural pine paneling. There's some extension cords coming out of the solar converter and the propane hookup for the gas stove. There's these clever little hooks on each cabinet door that lock the doors while you drive so they don't open. This first cabinet door is accessible from the passenger side doors, so you have easy access to the propane tank and the electrical setup. There's an overcab shelf to the right once you walk in the passenger side doors. I kept clothes and sometimes food up there. There's padding everywhere because everyone always hits their heads while getting in and out. I also installed a Bluetooth head unit so you can play music without having to plug in any cords. There's a bunch of storage space up near the front driving area. The kitchen area has a bunch of storage. There's a magnetic knife holder, but I put a bunch of utensils on there as well. This is the kitchen cabinet. There's a bunch of storage and a Yeti cooler on a pull-out drawer. You have to unlatch the two bottom latches to the left and right to pull it out. These hold it in while driving. Once you undo the latches, pull the drawer out, you can open the Yeti tabs and it opens right up. I have some insulation in the bottom to separate the ice from the food or to lay on top of the food. I typically put my eggs and delicate stuff on the grate on top. Once you're done, close it up, push it in, latch the latches, and it's back in place. These cabinet doors have the hook and lever system too. The sink is a manual pump system. You pull the top up and push it down and repeat to get the water to come out. It also has toiletry storage above the sink. There's two 6-gallon freshwater jugs for the sink water. This can also hold all of the pots and pans. I'm including all of the silverware, jars, pots, pans, basically everything that you see in the van is staying, so this thing is packed and ready to go. This back area is in table mode right now, but it also converts into a bed. The table just threads on with plumbing pipe and fittings, so you can just rotate the table to unthread it off or thread it back on. There's also a turf mat to cover the storage area under the bed. To sit down, you just rotate the table and seat yourself. Here's an example. The other cabinet is the one with the propane and electrical. It holds the gas stove on top of the cabinet. Just open the latch by pulling the tab, setting the butcher block off to the side, pull the gas stove out, put the butcher block back, and then hook the stove up. Turn the propane on and you're ready to cook. There's also a CO2 monitor and a fire extinguisher in the propane cabinet. And another overhead shelf in the back for more clothes and whatnot. This is how you convert the table into bed mode. Just unthread the table, and you can even just use this as a seating area as well. You can also see the fantastic vent fan. There's storage under both the left and right side of the bed. Just move the cushions, lift up the top of the cabinet, and then you can reach in there. The top of the table fits perfectly into the opening. So just remove the plumbing pipe, set the table into the void, and then put the cushions on, and you have your bed set up. There's window coverings that attach with magnets. This is how you put them on. Just match up the magnets and put it on the window. They block out all light and allow you to be stealth from the outside, so you can't see anything from the outside. I installed turf on the steps in the van to kind of act as a rug or a mat. This is the electrical setup. It's kind of awkward. So there's a little crack in between the solar converter and the cabinet wall. The controls for the solar converter are in this crack. You don't typically have to change any of the settings, but sometimes you have to in order to use certain features on the converter. It's super easy to do. I can explain it further in person. There's two 50-watt Goal Zero solar panels on the roof that feed into a Goal Zero Yeti 400 system. I use this power to charge all of my accessories such as my phone, laptop, whatever I don't really need, but it's nice to have. This power typically never runs out, but if you don't have any sun for a few days in a row, it will start to cut out because it gets low. There's also a utility battery that turns on the lights and controls the vent. This one charges off the alternator. It does not take any power away from the starting battery for the vehicle. This one never runs out. This is the back entrance. There's a bunch of storage options back here. You can put miscellaneous stuff in the nets and the doors. I put my towels, bathing suits, wetsuits, etc. in the netting. There's a padlock on the tow hitch so you can lock your keys away when you go on a hike, surf, or whatever. You can store surfboards on the table bed and under when the plumbing pipe isn't there. You can also access the cabinet storage from the back if you move the cushions. There's surfboard racks on the driver's side of the van. You can also store wood, snowboards, etc. if you get clever. I put a 6-foot board and a 10-foot board in the racks and they both work great. The van runs strong and has a ton of power. This thing seriously will never leave you stranded. When you don't drive it consistently, the battery will eventually die, but this happens with every vehicle. There's a trickle charger wired into the battery, so all you have to do is plug in an extension cord into the hidden plug. I'll show you where it is in person. I also just replaced the alternator, so that's brand new. Overall, this thing is amazing and can take you anywhere you desire. Just park it and there's your home for the night. Thanks for watching.